You know, when we think of the wonderful movie Sunset Boulevard starring Gloria Swanson and the equally fantastic William Holden, we just think of the dark, menacing scenes, don't we? The mad movie queen, that sort of stuff. And as I often said here before, I was so lucky to meet Billy Wilder just by chance, literally outside the National Theatre, sat on a bench, having a cigarette and a drink. And, you know, he had his little hat on and we just chatted for hours. I was so thrilled to meet him because I'd loved his work. I thought he was an excellent director and writer, probably of some of the biggest films that we all remember today, forgetting, of course, not forgetting, should I say, Some Like It Hot. So many things, you know, that he just turned his hand to. He was brilliant at comedy and dark noir, wasn't he? You know, everything. What a guy. Now, Billy Wilder really shared this story with me, which I thought was very sort of telling, in fact, because when you think about it, you think about Sunset Boulevard and you think about Gloria Swanson, but she wasn't the first choice. Many people know that, you know, they were looking for a bigger name. She was thrilled to get the part, you know, but, you know, this is Hollywood. She wasn't considered a name. After all, she was the original silent movie queen, up there with the likes of Mary Pickford and stuff like that. Yesterday's News, ideal for the role though when you think. So many stars did turn it down, but then of course once the movie had become a success, the problem that Gloria had, according to Billy, was, well, where'd you go with that? Where'd you take that? So she had the original idea to turn it into a musical simply called Boulevard. And she enlisted the two brilliant songwriters who were literally parked in her Park Avenue mansion, very Sunset Boulevard, according to Billy, to write this, you know, script and musical score. But the bottom line was she needed the permission of Paramount Studios. And Paramount Studios, you have to remember, at that time, did not think a musical version would work. Also, they were hoping to sell the movie across the television networks to try and get even more money. And they felt that if the musical flopped, then, you know, this would play badly for them if they were trying to sell it to TV. I know I often say this, but it's always about money. You know, in the end, it's simply money. Sadly for Gloria, she never got it off the ground, although she tried for many years, investing a lot of her own money. But according to Billy, long before Andrew Lloyd Webber's spectacular production, well, they also decided, Paramount themselves, to revisit this, and they had an idea to get the likes of Stephen Sondheim to write the score. That fell through, so then they approached Kander and Ebb for things like Chicago the Musical. Brilliant lyricists and songwriters and musicians, etc. Now that apparently fell through, but the idea was muted and confirmed to me by the late and brilliant Murder, She Wrote star Angela Lansbury. And she said, yes, she was approached about starring in, you know, Sunset Boulevard, the musical, the original version. And when I said to her, oh, right, you know, with Andrew Lloyd Webber, oh, no, and this is where the story came from. But of course, I remembered it listening back to the tape with myself and Billy Wilder. So you can understand that, well, how in the end did Andrew Lloyd Webber get it? The real reason why Andrew Lloyd Webber got it in the end, of course, he'd had so much success and Paramount thought, well, look, you know, he's had Jesus Christ Superstar, Cats, Phantom of the Opera. This guy, if anybody can make this a success, it can be him. So they allowed the rights to the story. And that's the real reason how Sunset finally came to the stage. It still hasn't come back to the screen as a musical yet, because even though Andrew has tried on many occasions, there are problems still trying to transfer this over, which is a strange thing given its colossal success around the world, and currently still on tour, by the way, over in the beautiful land of Australia with the wonderful Sarah Brightman, the original Christine in Phantom. But it's interesting to note, as Angela and Billy confirmed, all of this could have been done years ago, but it was down to one thing: box office, and more importantly, money. And as we often say here on the show, that truly is show business. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.